Yo, welcome back to another Creative Encounter podcast. I'm your host, Juiette, and we are at episode 9 of this podcast. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you're on YouTube, so good to see you. Please subscribe. If you are on Spotify listening in, thank you so much. Please leave a rating. And if you're on Apple Podcasts, please leave a review. We want to be able to reach so many more people through this podcast, and those things help us out. So thank you so much. But today, I have a very, very special friend here. This is my guy from years. This is my guy, my business coach, all of this stuff. I want to introduce you guys to James Wilkinson. James, what's going on, bro?
What's up, man?
So
what's
good
up?
to see you.
Man, exciting to be here.
Yeah, yes, sir. So James, let me tell y'all about James. So as you guys know, I'm a serial entrepreneur. I got a few things kind of, juggling right now. And James's business has really helped me to get these things official, Paying Dual Productions, helped it to become an LLC, Starving Artist Courses, the same. Just been such a blessing, just such a great coach. And outside of that, just such a great friend. We go way back and want to kind of share his story as just a friend, as a father, husband, entrepreneur. Oh my goodness, dude! Like so many hats
just
you
keep
wear, bro.
going.
Yeah.
Right.
So many hats, dude. And then as an artist as well. So that's why he's here at the Creative Encounter podcast. But man, dude, I'm so excited to have you here.
Yeah. It's good, man. Good to be here. It's a little cold outside, warm in here.
I know. It's crazy, yeah.
So it's cool.
Yeah, we got the heat up in here because it's freezing in Chicago.
Man, I'm starting to sweat.
Yeah, right. Yeah. By the end of this podcast, you'll be like, yes, thank you for
It'll be pouring down.
Yeah.
That's it, man.
But yeah, dude. So this is what I want us to do. I want you, like I mentioned, you wear a lot of hats. I want you to kind of tell me from the perspective of how is life as, a family man, how is life as an artist, kind of tell us how that developed, and then we're going to go into just the new season that God kind of has you and your family into, but kind of just starting from family. How's the family doing, man?
Family's good. I mean, we're busy. It's been kind of, a crazy journey over the last couple of months, personally, and then just, within the family. It's been cool. One of the newer things that I've been able to do this year has been coaching Alyssa at soccer.
Oh,
so,
nice.
she's my youngest. She's my 8-year-old. I coached Elijah, who's now 12, football, basketball, soccer, and then, had an opportunity to start coaching Alyssa. So it's been a really exciting journey. It's interesting because she's so similar to me. Yeah. She's kind of I'm a little more emotionally charged, and she's the same,
that's
right?
A nice way
so
to
it's
say
like, not in a crazy way, but for her, it's like, it's funny. One time in the car, she had we had a tough game. She struggled a bit. Our team struggled a bit, and so we get in the car, and I'm like, "Hey, look, here's some things that you could focus on." And she's like, "Why are you always pointing me out?" And I was like, "Man, this started early."
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like, but that's the thing is like I'm always looking for an opportunity to coach, and mentor, help somebody, and and sometimes it's. Sometimes it can be a challenge, right? Yeah. For you and then for the other person receiving it. So, but yeah, I mean, family's good. We're chugging away, working hard, and kids are doing well in school, so it's a good season. Excited about Christmas. Yeah. I mean, like 3 weeks away,
I know.
So it's kind of feel not ready,
right.
But yeah, man.
I mean, you're never ready for Christmas.
No, man, never.
Right, it's crazy. Yeah. Now, I know you, right before you were saying, like, you like to do more, like, in-person shopping. Instead of online. Yeah. Dude, I hate like going into the stores. Like that's why I usually go to the store besides Gabby, because she'll stay in there. Yeah. She will stay in there. Yeah. I'm like, let me get in. I start like spidey sense tingling type of thing. Like after a few minutes, I start getting a little anxious. Like, I gotta get back in.
Like,
just grabbing stuff, throwing it in the car. Yeah. But dude, no, I can't do it. So I'm like, let me just do this online, get this over with. Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, I mean the thing with so I'm a pretty structured person. For probably 90% of my life is, especially professionally. Yeah. And so like I like just going to a store and being random. Okay. But then you bring the kids along. Yeah. And then like they're being random, everybody's getting mad at one another. This, it becomes like a whole vibe.
Then you cancel Christmas.
Man, it's over. It's over, right? Man, it's like we're just gonna read the Bible. That's all we're doing this Christmas
for 25 days. Like the same verse. Like,
right.
No, but okay. So back to the dynamic right now. So I know recently, unfortunately, you kind of had an injury.
Oh yeah. Wait, what? Yeah.
I know you were talking about sports and everything, basketball and everything. So. Tell us how the dynamic has been at home since that.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, it's tough. So this is, I mean, just to be, transparent. So playing basketball, I'm in a rec league. It's actually crazy. So I'm gonna give my age away here, but I'm in a 35 and up competitive rec league. It's like the most competitive league I've been a part of since I was in intramurals in college.
Really?
At Marquette.
Yeah.
And so, like super unexpected. We're going against guys who are like 6'5", 6'6". I'm like, what? Like, where are these cats coming from? But it was just like a freak thing. I'm 2 minutes into the game a couple weeks ago. I'm just planted in the lane. I'm trying to defend a guy. He crosses over, goes to the right. I turn my body. Next thing I know, I'm on the ground, like an excruciating pain that I haven't really felt before. Lost feeling down below my knee and my right leg, and in the moment, I knew it was something different because I've never been in that much pain before.
Wow.
But I was trying to like walk it off. It's like adrenaline's flowing. Like I'm gonna get back in this game. And it's just stiffening up on me. It's just ice isn't helping. So when I got in the car, I told my wife, I said, "Hey, look, we need to go to the ER." And she's like, "Really?" And I'm like, "Yeah, like this is different, not something I'm familiar with." We get there and like it was pretty clear it was a ligament thing, but it looked like it was on the right side of my knee, which is called your FCL, which is one of the ligaments that holds the right side. So you have 4 ligaments, in your knee, so LCL like. One, like you need it, but like you kind of don't. Like you can get away with having a major injury there and just letting it rest and coming back. Okay. But at the doctor's appointments that I had as follow-ups after the MRI, we found out it was actually a torn ACL, which is the most critical ligament in your knee. Wow. It keeps your bones together, essentially your tibia and your femur, and then I also have a torn meniscus. Which sits in between the bones as well. So it's like
just from a goofy twist, like
random. Yeah, super crazy. And I've never had a major injury like this. Totally catches our family off guard. So we're trying to figure it out. I mean, for me personally, it's already a challenge because I'm used to just getting and going and doing things, So when I get up and I need something, I get up and go get it. Now it's like if I get up too quick, I might fall. Okay. And like so it's been difficult to manage, and I know it's difficult on the family, too. So it's gonna be a long journey ahead. I've scheduled surgery. It's at a later date than I was hoping for. So I'm doing what I can with the doctor to try to bump it up because we're looking at basically 13 months of recovery to get like fully cleared. And
so in about a year or so, everything should be...
Yeah. I mean, we're looking at like early 2024. Okay. So that means next year is like I can't even play tag with like the kids. Like that's a whole year just of, So it's mentally, man, I mean, there's going to be physical demands, right? There's going to be physical therapy, trying to like strengthen the muscles and the knee and get everything back in working order. But I'm most concerned about, the mental aspects of it because it's not something I've faced before. Right.
Man, again, we're praying for you guys. And again, if you need anything, we got you.
We appreciate that, man.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But, okay, man. So pretty much we met at our church back in the day, New Life.
Yeah.
New Life Community Church. Man, dude, so long. It's crazy. I remember the first time coming to Soul Purpose. Was that 2005 or something like that? I was in high school.
Man.
Crazy. But we met, what was it, like a New Year?
Yeah. So, I was in a Christian rap group called The Watchmen, and so we were. I was very involved in leadership at New Life Montclair, and so had an opportunity to do something called the New Year's Believe Bash. Okay, right. So it was all about like, hey, you're entering into a new year. What's something you can believe God for? In this next year. And so we did hip hop. We did. Man, I think we had those tumblers out that like the Jesse White.
Oh, really?
Yeah. They came out like in the middle of like. This short,
in the middle of your rap,
right? Like I'm like, hey man, I'm trying to flow here, man? Like flipping over me. But yeah, you guys came out. We did some worship. It was a good time, and we had some good people. We did some spoken word. That was an exciting time, man, for sure. That was one of my we did a lot of events. We did like something over like 60 shows, and then we did 2 New Year's Believe Bashes, and I think. both of them were up there on my like list of like top 10, but the first one we did, man, when you guys, that was just like amazing. Man, it was new, it was something different, it was pretty cool.
Yeah. So how did Guy kind of venture you into that creative element?
Yeah. Man, it's hard to know how. I mean, I started out. I always liked music when I was a kid. I was always like a kid who was like, banging the drums on the table and stuff. My parents were like, stop doing that, and I'm always, stuff like that. And stop, it's annoying, and stuff like that. And I traced that back, and I'm like, man, I always had an inkling, and I really liked R&B. Like R&B was always my thing, growing up. And I grew up out east, so I was like into East Coast hip hop, But for me, I was in college and I had some kind of things happen with my studies. I ended up having a little extra cash, some more time during one of the semesters, and I had friends who were like all into Fruity Loops and like all these other, music platforms. Yeah. And so I jumped right in, man. Bought a Roland Phantom. You got one sitting up in here, man.
Any experience when you bought it?
No experience, man. I just jumped.
So you just jumped?
Yeah, man. It was like something I would expect myself to do now. Like I should buy a motorcycle, right? It's like, man, I got this like torn ACL. When I get back, man, I'm about to buy a boat. Right. You know what I mean?
Like you live in the middle of like what are you doing?
It's like midlife crisis type stuff, But it was like I was 19, and so I don't know. It was really a God thing, man. So I went and did that. I got Pro Tools. I got all like the fancy stuff to create music, and like literally went from 0 to like 100 because I bought like the best stuff possible, and I just dove right in, head first, Yeah,
and were you like making the music and you were able to write the lyrics and everything?
Yeah, so I started producing, right? So I started making beats like everybody. Ran into met a guy who was just sick, like just really dope with his flow. Wow. And we ended up deciding, hey, we're going to form a group. So I'm making the beats, I'm producing, mixing, mastering. He's, flowing. And then we were like, hey, look, like, so we made an album and like, all right, I'm like, I need to start like getting into this. I felt like an inkling, like a calling to start rapping. So I took a shot and then became a thing where we ended up, doing performances and, it was a crazy season. We did it for 7 years, kind of went out on a high. And then, and when we did, and when I decided to step away, it was just felt like it was time, and kind of just made some changes after that.
Yeah. Okay. And then what was it that kind of had you to kind of segue from it?
Yeah.
Was it just like the family growing type of thing?
I mean, yeah, definitely that. But I think, looking back, there's always going to be a lot of reasons to not do something, right? And sometimes there's really good, valid reasons for you not to do something. But there's also sometimes illogical or things that you make up yourself, or they may be real, but you make them bigger than they are, mentally or emotionally. And I think I did that, back when I look in like 2014, family was growing. There was a lot of responsibilities on my shoulders. Work was crazy. I was traveling all around.
You say you're doing a lot of ministry.
Yeah. And then in the ministry, I was very involved. I was an elder. I was preaching, somewhat often. We were trying to plant churches. It was a lot. Yeah. And I think rather than, I hate to say it this way, but I feel like sometimes I took the easy way out, of just saying like, yeah, I'm just going to step away, and, I don't live with regrets over it. I think it's one of those things where I just think I could have continued to do it. I think, and I don't know. I mean, sometimes I feel like, I'm kind of like I go all the way, right? Like I'm like I bought the Phantom, I go Pro Tools and stuff, and if it's not meeting an expectation of a level that I've kind of established for myself, because I'm always going to be my harshest critic, then sometimes I can kind of like, man, this isn't meeting the quota that I was trying to reach, and so that's an adjustment. That's been an adjustment for me. Is just like, hey, let me do my best, right? So I don't think I was living that way necessarily. It was like I was expecting perfection,
right? Oh wow, yeah, no, I feel that. Yeah, dude, I'm the same way. Like I have, I mentioned this in some previous episodes. Like I have music that's kind of just sitting there right now because it keeps being like, man, should I add this element to it, or when do I want to release it specifically? Like which season, which date? All these little nuances that go along with it, and it's like, dude, just create, just put stuff out there, because we got to remember, like, these different things that God has given us, these gifts, is a blessing to other people. It's not about us so much like, oh, I did X, Y, and Z. It's like, no, like, people are waiting for, you know, the blessing that can come from the gifts that God has given you, you know? So that really kind of helps motivate me, or kind of get me out of those, like, those moments of like, oh, you know, this is taking too long, or, you know, I've stepped away from this, like, let me come back and finish this, you know, stuff like that, you know?
I mean, and Scripture says your gift will make room for you, right? So that's like a scripture, like there's certain ones that are just kind of taken and twisted, you know, in different ways and like to fit whatever the bill is. But I think when I think about your gift, I mean, you said it perfectly, is like, it's not like it's for you, but it's for others. And so that idea of a gift, God giving you a gift, you know, it's when you get a gift, it's yours, right? So a good giver doesn't take it back. And I feel like if we can just, you know, slow ourselves down, be patient, and allow God to kind of show us how to use that gift, it could be a real blessing to others in bigger ways than we can imagine, and sometimes in smaller ways than we can imagine.
Yeah, man, I love that. That's so good. Now, as far as gifts, now, that's one gift of yours, to be the creative side. But going back to those moments when you said you just love coaching people. Yeah. Now that's kind of like the new season. That God has you in. I love that. I just love, because everything always goes back to like a story of like when we were younger. Yeah. You know, or just some things that we enjoy to do. Those are things that God kind of launches us into. It's just so cool how He just designed everything. But with that, now you are fully operating in an amazing business. It's been a blessing to me and others so far, and it's called Blank Space. You know, Blank Space. So tell me a little bit about Blank Space. Tell me what you guys do, how it even started. You know, all of that. You know. Yeah.
So Blank Space, we focus on both coaching and consulting as it relates to starting a business, growing a business, restructuring, creating pivots. You know, maybe something's not working out and now you want to create a new strategy. And then we also do it with professional development. And so working on resumes and working on LinkedIn optimization and how to network and build your personal brand and professional brand at that. And then we also have another element, and this is kind of just like a core of who I am, is financial consulting and coaching. So, you know, helping people set a budget, establish it, follow it, you know, maintain, build financial vision and strategy, you know, for yourself and your family. So those are the three areas. So business, professional development, and finance. And, you know, my bread and butter, what I love to do, like we said, is coaching. So, you know, sitting down and the way a coach operates is a coach never gets on the field, right? So a coach, you know, is looking at the players on the field in any kind of sport, right, and directing them. And the players are the ones who execute. You know, so what we do with coaching is we come alongside of you. We try to understand what's your vision for your business, for your career, for your finances. Where do you want to be? And then we help you create objectives and milestones to actually achieve that vision, right? And so that's what we do with coaching. Consulting is more hands-on to where now we're kind of on the field with you. And so that is really important, I think, probably less so in the finance aspect, but when you think about, you know, resumes and then also, you know, business, because somebody who's just starting a business and who has no idea how to start a business, they may say, look, I don't really care, you know, what's needed to do. I just want you to do it. And I'd rather, you know, pay you to do it. And then, you know, of course, we still educate, right? It's not like I just go off on the side. I'm like, it's done. You know, here you go. Like, because that doesn't help you later on. What if you want to start a second business? Can I teach you something now?
The coaching is kind of integrated into the consulting.
It's just who I am. Like, and the same thing. So in India, my wife and I, we co-own it. So we're both that kind of same way. Is like we really enjoy, you know, kind of thoroughly coaching and educating. And she was a former educator, right? You know, by trade. So. So, you know, but consulting is kind of like, hey, look, we know you don't have the time. We know that maybe you don't want to expend energy doing, you know, these, you know, unfun things maybe, or things.
Sounds like me.
Man, things that don't, you know, add value as much. And so we can take that off your hands and we'll walk you through what we're doing and we'll do it for you, you know. So we're doing that now. We've helped people start their businesses. We have some long-standing client relationships where kind of, you know, we're working month to month on a whole year-long engagement where we're filling in a variety of roles: marketing, business planning, financial planning, you know, all sorts of different aspects of business. And then I'm also I'm on a website called Fiverr, which and you certainly don't have to go through Fiverr. You can come to us directly, but I'm doing resume reviews and rewrites, including cover letters, and so building it in such a way that it kind of gets through the tracking systems that are looking for keywords, and then also doing kind of creative designs, because I think when you get in front of a recruiter, to show off a little bit of a different resume, can set you apart. And it's all about differentiation when it comes to your resume, right?
Man, I love it. That's so dope. And then I think you guys have, on your website, I saw that you guys have maybe some products that might be launching soon or different things like that. What's some things that's coming up?
Yeah, so I mean, it's really exciting. Like I mentioned, Fiverr, right? So the resume review and rewrite. So that's active right now. But our website is blankspacecoach.com. So you can definitely visit us there. Sign up for our email list. We have some courses out there. We have free courses to help people start their business. And we have something that's really exciting. We should get into in a second here. But how to find your why. Like, why do I exist? Why am I here? But yeah, like you said, so we have a new promo package coming up, and it's called the Dream Launcher package. And so it's for anybody who wants to start a business. You have a hobby, you have something you're passionate about, you're interested in, something you might be brand new, something that you've been doing for a while, and you're just like, I need to turn this into a real business enterprise. And so we have this Dream Launcher package that's at a really reasonable price, where we'll help you select your name, we'll get your entity established legally, we'll help you get your tax ID for your business. Will help you get started with a budget and like a marketing plan, and so it's
setting you up,
man. I mean, that's because that's it's like there's 3 steps in there that really aren't that hard. Your name, your tax ID, legal entity formation. Like it's not that hard, but it's hard if you don't know where to go, where to look for it, right? But then the financial marketing aspects of it, those can be pretty daunting tasks. So it's like, let's help you get set up so that this is how much in sales I want to get and how much I think I can get. And these are the expenses I'm going to have. And how do I actually promote this thing? Right. So we're super excited about it. That's coming soon.
I love it. That's a big thing with Creative Encounter. We want to invest in creatives because sometimes we only think about just creating, dropping content and everything, but realize that there is a business aspect to this whole thing too. You got to have all of that stuff in order as well. Like the structure and the operational side of things has to be flowing too in order for this business to grow and develop. Otherwise it's just something you enjoy, do a hobby, right?
It's a hobby,
Yeah, it's just a hobby.
Maybe you make some money, right? But like, is it sustainable?
Right, is it sustainable? Is it scalable?
Yeah,
all of those things, right? So, man, this sounds great because you've helped me from the coaching side, but I definitely want to jump into that consultation side of it because, again, I'm the same way. Like, I just want to create, and on the back end, that everything operationally is flowing. And while I'm just kind of working on the front end and stuff like that, so I love that. So I know a lot of creatives will love to take advantage of that too, know. Now, something that you mentioned in there was you kind of give like practical tools and steps. And James actually spoke at the last Creative Encounter we had some weeks back, and he was going through, the message was amazing. He was just pretty much just giving us these steps on how to just get started. It's all about getting started because sometimes we get stuck on like, I have this idea, time passes, life happens, and I didn't get started. He gives us 3 practical steps to kind of just get us flowing. So can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah. So it's called Dream Plan Go. And so three steps, first dream, second plan, third go. And so the dream concept is really, for you to take a step back and think about, and this could be professionally, this could be personally, this could be in your business and your finances. What's something you want to achieve? What's your vision for your business? Even if you haven't started it, right? Like, what do you want your business to do? Personally, you may say, look, like I want to get married and I want to have kids. And so I think you can be intentional about those things. Sometimes it just happens, right? But I think you can be intentional about like, this is a season of my life in which I want to pursue that. And then, your finances may say, I'm in this much debt and I'd like to see myself here. And then professionally, maybe you want to make a career change or you want to go back to school. And so, but, for you to sit down and really take time and brainstorm, and I'm a big scribbler. I have a whiteboard at home. I like sitting there it's kind of like, Beautiful Mind. You remember the movie Beautiful Mind?
No.
Like, oh, come on, man.
We always have issues with movies.
I know,
like...
we do. This is a thing, man. This is a thing. Me and my wife, we do the same thing. I'm like, wait, you didn't see that? I'm like, you didn't see that? Man, we gotta go out. And then she doesn't want to see it because now she's like, she's mad at me because I made a big thing.
Like we were going back and forth about the chicken.
Oh, yeah, that's right, man. We always talk about chicken.
So yeah, that's all we talk about.
We can always talk about
pretty
chicken.
much. Yeah, we're gonna do another episode
about chicken.
Just talking about chicken.
Just talking about chicken. But with that's the thing is, I think it's important just start writing, right? Start writing, start brainstorming, just start thinking about whatever that is, and don't let it be like your entire life. I mean, don't say personally, professionally, business. Like I'm going to do all these things at one time. Just focus on one. One avenue, and because you can go down another path too. After you achieve, this other thing. So, because sometimes our minds just like they go out on tangents, And so, just sit back and think about whatever that is, whatever that space is that you're operating in, professionally, business, finance, personally, that, where do you want to be? What do you want to go and do? And so that's your dream. And once you kind of hone in on that and you feel like you've identified something that is not like 15 sentences long, kind of like 2 or 3 sentences, concise of this is what I want to do, then you have to put together the plan. And a plan to me is something that's 3 steps or less, and actionable. So you can measure it, it's actionable, you can actually do something about it, and it has some sort of time, associated with when you're actually going to deliver on it. You don't want to go beyond 3 steps, because if you go beyond 3 steps, you're going to overwhelm yourself. And if you go under, you kind of sell yourself short. So you focus on, okay, here's my dream, here's that vision that I want to do, here's my plan to get it, here's 3 steps to get me there. And of course, like there's steps within each one, right? But like, here's the 3 big steps. And then the go concept is, all right, now I put milestones, I put timelines to each of these steps, and I go. I go do it. And so again, dream, your vision, plan, 3 steps to get to your vision, go, timing of those 3 steps, and go and do it. And then as you continue to go forward, then you add steps to it, and then you add steps to it, and you put milestones, and then you see yourself, doing some really, really good things,
Yeah, that's so good. Love it. I love even at Creative Encounter how everyone, we handed out the sheets and everyone was doing it right there. Yeah. Because my big thing is start right away, and I know you're the same way. Because if we would have been like just talked about it, end at the night, who's really going to start? Like, I'm like, right while we're all gathered here together, let's do this right now. Yeah. And it was so cool. People coming up to the mic. Alyssa came up to the mic. That was so cool. My daughter, right. Yeah, James's daughter. It was so cool. And then, just again to give you guys a tip, because we're going to drop this in the description so that you guys can actually do this from home. And we want to hear from you guys that you guys actually did it. Let us know what those 3 things were, the dream, the plan, and the go. We want to make sure you guys tell us. But just give you an example of what it looks like. Dream. You pick an arena of life, right? So I focused on starving artist courses. And then I kind of wrote in there something I want to do. I want to make sure I have the courses on the website by a specific time, going into the new year. We already have 3 recorded. We want to go ahead and get those edited and mixed and up on the website, record the other 3, all of that. So it's like between now and like the first quarter of next year, have at least 6 courses up is the plan, So so that really helped just kind of be like, okay, I have until like the end of March, absolutely. And I really really helped with that. So I still have the sheet, I want to put it on my desk actually, so I can actually see it every day. Because you can get caught up working on other projects at times, and this helps you get focused again. Yeah. Get back to this, So yeah, dude, I love that.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I mean, I think and one other thing I would add to the whole dream, plan, go concept too is as you're achieving those milestones, I think it's important to celebrate what you're doing. I mean, I could tell you, I'm a worker. I'm a kind of a go-getter, a doer, and I have to a lot of times force myself to say like, hey man, you did a good job,
Yeah, I'm the
you
same,
know.
yeah.
And so I want to make sure that people recognize that you've done a good job. It's not like tooting your own horn or like being prideful about it, but just recognizing like,
Yeah.
hey man, and I think as you recognize that for yourself, that hey, I've done a good job, I worked hard. It's like I think you find it easier to accept other people's recognition too, and even I would say especially God's is like like because God is looking at you and saying, hey, like I'm proud of you. I'm proud of the steps you've taken.
So good. Yeah. Oh man, I think so many of us need to hear that.
Yeah.
Or at least I know I needed to hear that
man,
because
definitely.
sometimes you don't want it to turn into works.
Yeah.
Make sure it doesn't turn into works. Because that verse that really sticks to me is just like the whole thing of when he gave them the talents. And then he was like, you wicked servant, you didn't execute on these talents and stuff. So we get into that mentality of like, yo, I have to continue to just work super hard. Yeah. But that doesn't separate us from his love. That has nothing to do with any of that and stuff. Right. To be a good worker, obviously, and to get more responsibilities, yes, you have to work in excellence, but that's not going to separate us from just the approval of us as his child. Yeah. And, if we weren't good at anything or didn't ever accomplish all these, different things and stuff, where he's still going to love us. So I think that's really healthy to just kind of still continue to work to be excellent because he's an excellent God and he wants us to do that. But also, again, relax, know that he's proud of you regardless. And,
that's right.
All those things.
Yeah.
So, yeah, dude, I personally appreciate that part that you threw in there, Yeah, that's so good.
Yeah, man.
But yeah, guys, okay, so pretty much I want you guys to check out Blank Space. It's Blank Space Coach.
BlankSpaceCoach.com.
Coach.com. Yeah. Check this out. Join their mailing list and all of that. And then we are going to have the Dream Plan Go where you can download it. Download it as a PDF. Make sure you guys can access that sheet and fill it out and let us know, like, yo, this was my dream. These are the plans I'm going to implement. Remember, only 3, and then go. We'll make sure we do all of that, right?
Yeah.
Now, James, on Spotify and on YouTube, there's always the option to just kind of put a question for our viewers and for our listeners. So what's something that you want to leave everyone with, some question that we'll put in there for them to answer? Yeah.
Man, on my drive over here, I was thinking, I'm like, what can I say, to help inspire or encourage, especially as we get to Christmas, which is an exciting time, right? A time of a lot of joy, but it's also a stressful time, right? And it's also sometimes a sad time for, people who have lost, loved ones. And then you go into the new year and it's like, you have this gap between Christmas and you're like, Christmas is over. And then we have the new year starting and, there's kind of a new excitement about, I want to work out. I want to, do something different. I want to start this. And so I was thinking like, what do people need to hear? And this was what felt like I was getting as an encouragement. But my question is, what have you given up on? Because I think, as this whole dream concept, and we talked about it in detail at the Creative Encounter, in person. But the whole idea of dreaming is, I think, as we get older, when we're kids, we're dreaming about the things that we could be, the things we could do. I want to go to the moon, and I want to be a doctor. I want to save people's lives. I want to be an athlete. All these grand things, right? I want to own a business, and I think life hits us hard, so often. I mean, this ACL injury, I mean, I could tell you, like, it's only been 2 weeks, and I got, a year plus ahead of me, and mentally, man, emotionally, like, I feel like I'm on a roller coaster, for a variety of reasons. And, I mean, I'm already like, man, do I even want to play basketball again? I'm already like, almost like throwing in the towel on this idea. And I think it's so easy that as life delivers to us these difficult seasons, in unexpected circumstances, to just want to throw in the towel, right, and give up. And I think it would be fair to say that, especially people who are creative, in nature, or feel like they're creative, in the creative arts, is you get turned down. Right, you get turned down for a show, you get turned down for a book deal, you get, you don't end up becoming, the worship leader, of that church that you wanted to be a part of. You don't get selected. I think, because there's so many people vying for such a small talent pool, or I mean, I should say there's a large talent pool, but there's such a small number of opportunities, and I think it's easy to give up. and throw in the towel there. And I just want to say that, God doesn't do that on us, right? Yeah. Like God doesn't give up on us. God doesn't give up on what it is, the gift. We talked about the gift, what gifts God has given us. He doesn't take them back. He doesn't strip us down and like, hey man, you're not doing what you're supposed to do with what I gave you. Right. That's still there. Your gift will make room for you. So as we exit 2022 and these past couple of crazy years, I think 2023, I think people would just be getting regularly sick again. Like normal sick. It's like like we got colds and stuff like a few weeks ago, and I was like, man, this is a nasty cold. I got the man cold. And the man cold, man, that's worse than most things. Man. I mean, you get the man cold,
it's over.
Yeah. Don't let
cold.
It was worse than the ACL.
Cold vid.
Yeah, it's right. I'm like, man, this is worse than the ACL injury, man. I can't get the man cold.
I can't.
Man, but as we go into 2023, what is it that, you can restart? What is it that you feel like, man, I'm not going to ever be able to do this. I don't know that I have the tools or resources. What have you even if you haven't said you give up, or even if you haven't, quote unquote, physically thrown in the towel, or even, figuratively done that, mentally, are you checked out of something, that you have a passion for, an interest for? Have you given up on, that promotion at work? Have you given up on getting out of debt, especially with these rising rates? Have you given up on, getting married or, getting a house? Have you given up on starting that business, or, are you struggling in your business right now and you're ready to just say, I'm done with this. It's not worth it. What have you given up on? And so that question then leads to kind of an opportunity for you to dream, plan, go, and to really seek out, spend time with God in this holiday season, and ask God to refuel you, and renew you, refresh you, give you a new thirst for that thing, and then to dream it, plan it, go get it, and Blank Space can help you, with that. I would venture to say, based on, the last couple of years that we've been doing Blank Space, a lot of the people that we've been working on are working with are people who feel like they don't have the answers. They don't know where to go next. It's not the people who know everything they need to go and do, and then they just like, hey, I need a sidekick. It's usually like, I don't know what to do. I don't have the time. I'm super duper busy. I'm bogged down, and I know what I want to go do, but I can't do it. And so let us help you, with that. So that's where, you could visit us at, www.blankspacecoach.com. There's an opportunity for you to do those free courses. We'll be putting the Dream Launcher package out there. Yes. But you can contact us too. And that goes directly to me in India, my wife, and we'll get right in touch with you to follow up and see how we can help you.
Yeah. Love it. Boom. That is it, y'all. So, again, check out blankspacecoach.com. And also, remember, Creative Encounter is a ministry. We are a nonprofit. And what we do is we do this podcast, we do the monthly events, and really just give a platform to specifically kingdom creatives who are looking to venture out and to do amazing things on this earth for God, for the advancement of the kingdom of heaven, and just really just to give them the tools and access to be able to do so. Networking, resources, all of those things. Yeah. So, jump on board with us, become a monthly partner with us. We would love that. All of those details will be in the description. We are under ACT International, and all donations are tax deductible. Again, we love you guys. We want to invite you guys out before we go to the next Creative Encounter on December 10th. We'll be having an amazing multimedia production called Sat in a Boat. Those details will be popping up as well, and you can see that in the description. So the tickets are free first off. And we only have about 50 seats in this venue, and we already got tickets being taken, so make sure you get yours ASAP. Yeah. This will be December 10th, so a week from the posting of this episode. But man, love you guys, and James, thank you so much for coming out.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Yeah. Appreciate it.
See you guys.
Yeah, see ya.
Yo, Creative Encounter, Juiette here.
And Rebecca here.
And we want to invite you guys out to Sat in a Boat. This is going to be an amazing production that you do not want to miss on December 10th. Rebecca, tell us about Sat in a Boat.
Yeah, so Sat in a Boat is a multimedia modern dance performance investigating faith and reason through a variety of creative arts. That includes spoken word, originally composed music, singing, movement, animation, a script, and more. So definitely come on out. Some of the questions that will be be investigating include, is the Bible reliable or historically reliable? Why is there evil and suffering in the world? And is the resurrection true? But all from a very creative lens. A lot of it talks about where we are, where God is in the storms of life, and how we can face difficulties even in the storm with the Lord by our side.
Man, look at that. So, hey, all of that is a power-packed event that you guys want to come out to. And the best part, it's free, y'all. This is a free event for you guys to come out and have a great night to see this amazing performance and production. And we are asking for donations, and all of those details will be in the Eventbrite link. So make sure you guys come out December 10th to Sat in a Boat. See you guys then.